Spoilers of the Damned.
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Spoilers of the Damned podcast. It's hard to keep count with so many quality titles in our oeuvre. But today, of course, we are talking about Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, a brilliant film, well chosen by Chris. If you haven't seen it, we strongly suggest that you go and see it, because it would be real shame if it was spoiled for you, because it's quite funny.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still an experience regardless. Like, I could tell you everything that happens in the movie, but when you watch the movie, the performances actually take center stage. So, listen to us first, and then watch the movie. Or watch the movie, listen to us first. I don't care. Just listen to us.
Just live your life without limits.
Live your life without
Be
limits.
free to do what you want to do.
Live and learn! Okay. So, horror stuff this week, right? I'm just gonna take what?
Hey, excuse me. That's my job.
Oh well,
Whoa.
sorry.
So, horror stuff this week, guys.
Are you mocking me? No. Recently, anyone who follows this podcast would know that I'm a SGF fan, super great friend, Let's Player. He was playing a game called The Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. And the reason this game is actually interesting in the nowadays is because it's an FMV game.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a new one that's a homage to old
brand
ones?
new FMV game.
Okay, cool.
High def, like super crisp quality recordings, not like a grainy 1992 CD-ROM quality. I mean, like high def. It's a little creepy with how fucking crystal clear it is. And what it's about, it has themes of Cthulhu-esque horror. It has themes of madness, obviously, psychiatry. You are actually playing a psychiatrist, and the setting is you are playing the psychiatrist that replaced a murdered Dr. Dekker. And so you're going to not interrogate. That's silly. You're going to take on the patients that Dr. Dekker had prior to his death and try to fix their problems while also asking them questions about how or why Dr. Dekker might have been killed.
Oh, that sounds literally right up my alley.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. And it's like $9.
Nice.
$9 of my American dollars. Yes.
Yeah, because see, there's been a glut recently of they are quote-unquote FMV games. Like, I don't know if you've seen them. Like, whenever I load up my Xbox One to play something, which is not often, I'll grant you, but I check in the game store, and I see that there was one called The Bunker. There was another one called... there's a spy one that was recently released, and they are literally FMV games. They are games where you watch it, and there is a slight amount of movement, but for the most part, it's literally just picking, like choose your own adventure. So there have been kind of a few of them recently, but as far as I can gather, those ones are very short and not really worth the asking price. So the premise of this one sounds much better than any of those already.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you one thing.
I'm guessing it was made by fans of the genre as well.
Sure, why not? You're the guy with the notes. Look up Wikipedia, find out. I'm not gonna.
Don't make me do work.
I ain't typing with these keys. These
Blow
keys
it
are
out
going
your
to
ass.
stay pristine. The thing that you will like above the other things you have already mentioned is that you don't click a thing. You actually type in your responses. So you have to frame.
Oh.
You have to frame and phrase your questions correctly, not strictly. Like, if you drop a the and use an and or something like that, they're not going to be like, oh, you didn't try, type in the correct question. They just look for keywords, which is a great thing because you can just hack out some questions and it just feels like you're playing the doctor role. But it's also a bad thing because it's just looking for keywords.
Yeah.
So you can just, like, if the keyword is hamburger, like, did you have sex with that hamburger? And then she'll say something unrelated to having sex with hamburgers, but talk about hamburgers because that's the keyword you're looking for. So it can be a little disjointed. However,
that's the problem with that kind of approach is that there's the myriad of human expression is just far too wide for them to program every single
absolutely
kind of question.
I cannot possibly blame them for it, but the attempt is still way more immersive than choose your own adventure by clicking dialogue or pre-scripted text. So if I were to choose, my FMV game preference would be to type in whatever I want to type in, because it's a lot of fun to say, are you a mermaid, and hit enter, and they'll just say, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you don't fucking know what a mermaid is? Nope. And just have fun with that. It's a good time. And also,
that sounds like an added element of fun as well,
Yeah.
like aside from the actual questions you're supposed to ask.
Yeah. And it's one of the great things about it, because there's like a sort of a snappy attitude when they don't know what you're talking about. And it depends on the character, of course, it's their personality. But one of them just goes, nope, don't know. So it's like, what's your favorite cereal? Nope, don't know.
That sounds fun.
What's the cereal? I'm so silly.
It's not something I've played, but that's reminding me of a game called Her Story, which I need to get around to, but I gather is an equal kind of approach in terms of... you guys heard of Her Story?
The name rings a bell.
I've only heard
Chris?
of history.
Oh, that one hurt.
Controversial. Her Story is kind of like I'm not sure if it's a murder mystery. It's definitely a mystery.
Oh,
you're kind of,
I know what you're talking about. Yes, okay.
Yeah, you're watching these tapes and looking for clues in kind of this person's eyewitness account, and then you can kind of draw up things that don't match up, and you can. I believe it's a similar sort of approach with keywords and sort of getting to the bottom of the mystery. So, yeah, it sounds good. Both of them. I'm gonna make sure both of them are on the list.
It does have a slight issue where if you've already used a keyword, it doesn't let you use the keyword again unless you use it in a different way. So it can get really frustrating typing in a sentence where I'm just going to use an example. One of the patients, her name is Mariana, and she has blackouts. When she wakes up, she's naked on the beach. All right. But cops keep showing up and like, hey, this is, you're not supposed to be naked on the beach. Public nudity or something like that. And they arrest her. And they keep letting her off with warnings because she doesn't know how she got there.
Yeah.
But she says she goes to the beach because there's a beachside bar that has free, cheap vodka shots. Not free, cheap vodka shots. But she also mentions earlier that she does not drink. So you want to call her out on her lie. But if you use the word vodka, it's like, haven't we already talked about vodka? Like, how do I rephrase this statement to make it seem like you're a liar and not me like, hey, let's get drunk, vodka, 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 vodka.
We'll get wasted.
Show me the beach where the
We'll go to the beach. Let's go to the beach together. Come on. All right, let's go.
Kind of makes you think of LA Noire. You need a kind of a liar button.
Yeah.
You can just press.
LA Noire.
Yes.
That was a game that...
Or like Phoenix Wright, you just go, admit it, you're lying.
Or objection.
You know my favourite one in LA Noire. It happens in a lot of games where, for example, like, I've been playing Fallout 4 with my friend, and you have like, instead of like, you have like what kind of response do you want, and it's just like sarcastic or tell me more or something, but then you could select one that sounds like quite polite, and then the character like says something very aggressively or something. Like, it doesn't tell you what you're going to say. Or I can't remember what it was. It doubt one of the buttons in anyone. It's like, I doubt this, and he just like starts accusing them.
Yes.
Like, that's not doubt. You're that's accusing.
You're being a bit of a cunt.
Exactly. Like, doubting would just be going, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure?
Right.
But so they're going, doubt. Why are you lying to me? Swear to me. You know, it's like, what the fuck is this?
No. I will say, yeah, there it is. There's our Sylvester Stallone impersonation.
Yes.
That is a problem with season 3 of The Walking Dead, Telltale's Walking Dead, specifically over the previous 2 seasons. There are a lot more answers in the 3rd season that seem to be kind of ambiguous, so you pick them and then the character goes off on their own, like accusing people, yelling things when that isn't what you wanted based on the choice at all. So
that's not what I went. That's not what was in my head. What the hell, man?
which is why I prefer in games like Life is Strange, which incidentally has been announced definitely for season 2, and also has got a prequel season coming out at the end of August, which is awesome. I can't wait for that. But
I can.
in Life is Strange, God damn it, it's a good game. You can see how a conversation turns out, and then if you don't like it, you can just rewind it and try again. And pick the other option, so you can at least see all the options and make a choice based on that. But quite often in these games where you can make a choice that quite literally is going to dictate, if not the ending, your kind of relationship to other characters for the majority of the game. You want to be able to see what the kind of the outcome is of what you're pressing, and quite often those things, you're right, they can be very ambiguous.
Yeah.
And
it's ridiculous because you'd imagine that, like, I mean, maybe I would imagine it because I'm not actually a video game tester, but as a video game tester, I'd be like, look, this didn't make any sense at all. Could we rewrite this in some other way? And I guess everyone's just like, no.
No.
Nah.
Fine. No.
Yeah. No, fuck you.
I think we've talked enough about rewriting character scripting.
But yeah, one last thing about Dr. Dekker. I'm actually very curious for either one or both of you to play it together or apart, doesn't matter, because it's a fully English cast, I think. I'm not really good at placing accents, but there's a lady who's your assistant, and she's either overacting as hard as possible, or it's some kind of dialect accent that I'm just not aware of in England that just sounds like they're overacting all the time.
Okay.
And I'd like
you to maybe do an approximation of it.
I'd like you to identify. Well, okay, the first thing that you see in the game is her, and your vision is swimming. They don't explain why that is, but it's like you see her saying the same things like 4 or 5 times, but differently, with like different tones.
Okay.
And she says, "You're late again, Dr. Dekker. Never mind. Even though you've made all those promises." And she says something like that several different times in several different ways. But she says it like fast. Like she doesn't let you go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late." She just runs right over that, even after all those promises. Never mind. Something like that.
It sounds like it could very easily be overacting.
Okay, good. Because that's what I'm thinking it is. But I was like, wait, maybe I'm being culturally insensitive, and it's just how somebody talks over there. I don't know. But yeah, it totally seems like overacting.
On a scale from 0 to Mary Poppins, how far do you think you are being culturally insensitive? Oh, I think I'm annoying.
Hello there.
Oh, sweep the chimneys. So, but yeah, besides that one little hiccup, the rest of the cast is much more professional, much better actors, or at least they're creepy on purpose, I think, and that was sort of the point. And I do recommend it highly. I don't know how long it is. I do know that it gets a bit annoying trying to figure out what you have to say, but the difficulty slider for the game is either you can press the hint button whenever you want, or somewhere in between that and you can never press the hint button. So if you just feel like you're gonna just like have problems, just slide that difficulty slider towards pressing the hint button more often, because that way you can just press the hint button and it'll tell you what you should probably ask next.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't get
stuck. It does
stuck.
sound good. I will look into it.
Yes, you will.
I think I ended up getting the you know, the one you were talking about, the House Abandoned.
Yeah.
I think I might have either bought that on GOG or I've got it on a wish list ready to buy on GOG, because I checked it out after you mentioned it, and that was very interesting. It looked very interesting.
It's very short too, so it's like not really worth more than $4 or so. But
okay.
I mean, from my experience, it was really short. Maybe there was something something that Super Great Friend could have explored further to make it longer, but I didn't explore that myself. So. Yeah. Anyway.
How do you spell Deckard? Is it just Deckard?
It's 2 Ks.
Dekker. Dekker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dekker.
I'm just finding it myself so I can take a little look.
Little look-see. The cursor is a little hard to see with the weird green background and the weird green tiny cursor they have. But beyond that, it's really good.
A Lovecraftian murder mystery FMV game. That's cool.
And I can.
Have you guys? sorry, you finish up and then I'll go on.
Oh, so I can really see the potential for it. Like in the beginning, it's a little boring because you're just trying to get to know everybody. But like after the first sessions, there's like a plot twist that really gets you keyed in on what they're trying to do with the game, and it just it's good. I want to finish it up whenever I have time from work. Now, what were you saying, Tom?
Oh, cool. No, I'm definitely going to check this out. But speaking of Lovecraftian mystery games, we've recently had E3 2017, and I didn't get to see an awful lot more footage than I'd already seen beforehand. But from what I hear, based on PlayStation Access have a YouTube channel, and they did a video on the Call of Cthulhu game that's coming out.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Yeah, so what I've heard about that game is very interesting. It basically, it's not attached in any way, but it seems very much like a kind of spiritual successor to Eternal Darkness on the GameCube.
Oh, was it being made by the same people?
No,
I'm not sure if it's being made by the same people, but in terms of having a kind of a sanity, for want of a better word, a sanity meter, where kind of if things are starting to go off the edge, then you witness phenomena or experience strange things that are happening. You can develop fears or neuroses, so you can kind of become claustrophobic to the point where if you need to hide somewhere from a monster, if you try to do it while you are suffering from claustrophobia, then you will make noise and the monster will come and get you. So you have to think of a different solution. A lot of this is just what they were saying, because unfortunately I don't think there are many extended gameplay demos or footage in that regard. It's basically just the trailers they've already released. But this was people who said they played it for half an hour, so they got a good sense of what the game is kind of like.
Okay, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I really hope it's good. I've been watching it for a couple of months now, and I really want it to be good. I've not played any of the Call of Cthulhu games before, but I do have the one they released for... I can't remember if they released it on anything other than Xbox. But
Dark Corners of the Earth?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes, they released it on PC. I did
it's on
start
PC,
playing it.
yeah.
It's good. I did like parts of it.
Hang on, I've 1 second, I've got the box here.
It had like the bald guy on the front, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good description, Matt. That's really good. The bald guy. That's great.
I'm
good at descriptions.
I was looking up Silicon Knights, who I believe made Eternal Darkness.
They did, yes, they did. And Twin Snakes.
And Twin Snakes, but they haven't done anything since 2009, according to their official blog. So
yeah, that's thanks to I believe. No, they did X-Men Destiny about 6 years ago, which is a RPG, a somewhat RPG. They kind of fucked themselves over with Too Human.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've got
they're bankrupt.
Call of Cthulhu: The Dark Corners of the Earth here for Xbox, and yeah, it's a similar kind of premise. It's having even this boasts a dynamic sanity system. It says results in hallucinations, panic attacks. First person perspective as a selling point gets its whole paragraph.
Yeah.
Immerses you in the world.
Sure does.
Yeah, oh boy. But so yeah, it looks like it's definitely in the same kind of vein as the games that have come before the Call of Cthulhu ones. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it develops into something really good.
Yeah, it'd be nice because it's nice to have. It'd be really nice to have a video game based on something by Lovecraft that's really good. Because obviously the closest thing we had that was Dark Corners of the Earth is good, but the closest we've had that's been really good that's Lovecraftian is Eternal Darkness. But obviously that's its own mythos and everything. But something that is actually in the H.P. Lovecraft world, because there's obviously everyone knows Cthulhu, but he's the most popular creature that he made.
Yeah.
But like his version of like vampires and zombies were different as well. So there's lots and lots of different
As far as I
things.
gather, the only thing in recent years that really is not Lovecraftian, but is heavily inspired by it, is Bloodborne. Apparently, the makers of that were heavily inspired, and I've not seen far enough into the game, but I gather a lot of the monsters are very kind of, insanity-based, multi-dimensional, kind of tentacly, monstery things.
Oh yeah. Also, I think because the first half's like very gothic horror, and then the second half of the game delves more into like Lovecraftian. It's really so good.
Yes, I'm going to go back to it. You guys have convinced me. I'm going to start. Actually, I'm going to go all the way back and start with Demon Souls, which is going to be a bit of a crush at first, but I'm going to get good. In fact, I'm even thinking I'm going to call my streams "Get Good." So that way, if everybody sees that I'm a scrub from day one, they will not immediately hate on me.
Well,
they'll hopefully see some kind of development.
Well, if you're going to call it "Get Good," is it a command or is it an announcement? Like, are you telling people like, "Hey, get good by watching me," or "Hey, I got to get good, watch me"?
I think it's more the second, definitely. Maybe I could call it "Gets Good," as
or
in, like,
"Get Good" with a question mark.
Gets good, yeah.
Get good.
Have I gotten good enough yet? But yeah,
how much
I will
good
be
do I
returning
gotta
to
get?
Bloodborne eventually.
So, but yeah, definitely go with Demon Souls first. Not just because I'm biased and it's the only one that I've beaten, but also because it's the only one I've beaten, and I can tell you for sure by the end that it's completely doable. It's completely doable. The biggest hurdle you'll probably come across are the Manhunter bosses. Okay. I expected Matt to kind of chime in, but no, the Manhunter bosses, you don't have to chime in. The Manhunter bosses are, it's a boss you fight, and it's on a bridge, a narrow bridge with no guardrails of any kind, and a circular platform in the center of the narrow bridge with a bonfire on the center. So you can't even like stand dead center. You have to dance around the fire and try to stay away from the edge while you have a flying green Manhunter boss come down and swoop at you. And
so he can't even fall off. It's flying.
Yes, you can't trick him to fall off. And he's difficult because of that.
I can't picture it. Shit.
You can't? Google? Maybe.
Okay, what was the area?
It's the Latvian prison or something like that. The tower of something. Shit, I don't remember. I don't remember these things.
My brain's just gone completely. But we're still talking about Bloodborne.
No, we're talking about Demon Souls.
No, we're talking about Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. Oh, I never got that far in Demon Souls.
Oh, what? You beat Bloodborne, but you didn't get that far in Demon Souls.
I've completed all of them except Demon Souls.
Oh. We are opposing forces then.
Shit,
I haven't beaten any of them except for Demon Souls.
I'm so tired and zoned out.
Sorry.
It's okay, dude. You can join me to play Demon Souls. Based on your pedigree of completing all the others, you will smash it, and I will be...
I don't know. I wasn't good at it.
level 2 with my shield.
Latria Prison. Latria Prison, that's what it was called. And as a helpful side thing, if you ever want to know how to play the game, I did a no commentary let's play of the whole thing.
Oh, thank you. I will check that out. Yeah, I do need some help because, there's part of me that wants to go into it blind because I feel like you shouldn't have to read an FAQ before you even begin a fucking game. However, I also know that is a recipe for a bad time in these games.
Yes.
So it's the juxtaposition of wanting to go in fresh, but at the same time also wanting to be a little bit prepared. So
yeah, you're going to want some small amount of preparation because really when you get the right frame of mind, the game becomes a fun game. When you're just still flailing about trying to figure out how to do a thing, or like, why doesn't my dagger that kills these things not kill those things? Are they any different? Oh, it's because they have hardened scales and you need a piercing weapon to kill them? Oh, I need to go find a piercing weapon to kill these things. And then things become easier. But if you don't go into that area with a piercing weapon, you're going to have a bad time. Even if you're really good, you're going to have hours of bad time because you're going to be doing 1 or 5 damage to something with 1,000 hit points.
Oh my god, yeah. Sounds like my worst nightmare.
Yeah. Like when I first started playing it, my buddy and I, we came fresh out of like D&D CRPGs, Dungeons and Dragons level stuff, where like if you play a thief and you're going to use daggers because thieves get dagger proficiency as part of their character perks or something like that. So even though the longsword would do more damage, a dagger in the hands of a thief would do comparable damage. We played Thief in Demon Souls, so we have to start off with a dagger and a buckler. We're like, fuck this buckler. We're going to just run out with a dagger and backstab stuff and sneak around like we were expecting to do. That worked kind of all the way up until the mines section where you have these really thick-scaled armored they're docile, but they're thick-scaled, armored miners, like lizard men or something like that. And the dagger just doesn't do anything to them. And we're thinking, man, do we have to level up? Because that sucks. We're going to have to go back to Boletaria and just grind souls for experience to spend on strength so we can finally do some damage to these things. This game's kind of busted and broken. This sucks. And we ended up quitting there because we got to a boss that we just couldn't deal any damage to because we're insisting on using the dagger. But once I started playing it again, because a friend of mine at work loves the Souls games, and he convinced me to play Demon Souls again, I went back there and had the same problem, but I didn't have the peer pressure to maintain the thief build instead. So I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm called the thief, but my character sheet is wide open. I'm going to try different weapons, I'm going to try different things, and I found out that the S-Stock, which is like a really thick rapier, pierces the hell out of those thick hides and does hundreds of damage instead of single-digit damage. And I'm like, I understand now. I understand how to play this game. Me being a thief really only grants me better loot drops. It doesn't actually lead towards what kind of weapon I should be using. I can use whatever weapon I have the attributes for. And knowing that changed the whole game for me.
So what you're saying is you got good.
I got informed. My skill didn't change.
Get infirmed.
Get infirmed. Are you telling me to go to the hospital? But yeah, it's like it's not even really about being good. It's because I was pressing the buttons the same. I just had the effect that I required by using an S-Stock over a dagger. You know?
Yeah.
That's where it's like Souls games get confused with whether they're good games or you have to get good or you have to just get informed. So getting some fact information, some preliminary information before you play is a good idea.
That's good, yeah, because I want to be able to get a little bit of information, but I don't want to be looking at fucking spreadsheets because that's not my idea of fun.
The crafting system,
so long as I have a nudge in the right direction, I should be okay.
Yeah, the crafting system does have you look at spreadsheets, but really you don't have to. You don't. They're not huge spreadsheets, but there are like 8 or 9 different effects you can build up to. But you don't really need one of every weapon. Like I was perfectly fine after getting that S-Stock using the dragon longsword that you find in the mines, and it's a longsword with fire damage on it. It does good damage to just about everything in the game. So,
okay, cool.
You know, once you find that weapon, you're kind of set. And that was where I was kind of disappointed because once I got that weapon and I powered it up a little bit, not a whole lot, just a couple more points, then I've realized that I got over the difficulty curve, and the game was just downhill from there. It was still really fun to explore and see, and I still had to dodge, nefarious traps and hordes of enemies and stuff, but I'm used to that. I'm a good gamer. I got good when I was like 15, all right? Been gaming for a long-ass time. So it was just, a matter of being equipped correctly, which I think is the giant, huge-ass flaw in RPG games that Zelda doesn't have. I know I'm just going off on a weird tangent here, but I'm just going to say on one note that most RPGs are like anchored down by experience points and levels and having to get better numbers than your opponent rather than being more skilled than your opponent. Yeah. Whereas Zelda games have maintained forever just being a more skilled player in an already easy game.
You're using the correct tools for the job at hand.
I just wanted to say because that's like a huge bomb for game design. Like when you think about it, like why not make handcrafted games that are difficult to play but fun to play and not grindy at all? Why do people keep making experience points based games where you have to spend literal months of your life building a character that doesn't do anything different by the time you get to the experience point ladder?
Yeah, you're right. It's just a numbers game at that point. Yeah. Well, I will say I've been playing Breath of the Wild recently. I'm finally starting to do some of the story quests because I've been around the map. I've got every tower. I've got most of the armor that allows me to go to the places that you're not allowed to go to unless it's it's too cold or it's too hot. And some of the story quests you have to play through a bit to get some of those armors. So I've been doing that, and I got to the point where my entire weapons slots were full of special weapons that I found in shrines and what have you. So I had 3 great flame blades, 3 great ice blades, a thunder lance, something called, I forget what it's called, the edge of something, but it's got an attack power of 50. So basically it got to the point where if I wanted to kill anything, even like the weakest enemy, I had to use a super special weapon.
Yeah.
And
I'd even bought the house. Yeah, I'd even bought the house, and you can put weapon slots in the house to have weapons on the wall. So I filled those up with special weapons and still replaced the special weapons with more special weapons. So I tried to keep a slot clear just so I could have like a sledgehammer or a rock crusher or something just that I could use like in general, just normal stuff. And I couldn't. And then eventually, if I reached a point where I had to, say, carry the blue flame and I needed something that could light on fire, I'd have to actually chuck away, obviously, the least stat that I had, but still a special weapon, so that I could just light flames to do a story thing. So, yeah. Breath of the Wild, it's good. It's a good game. I've enjoyed it, and I've not even completed it, but the weapons thing is very annoying.
Yes. There are flaws.
And I also got the camera thing, which means that you have to. They tell you need to fill in the book, so you need to take a picture of literally everything to create like this encyclopedia. So now, when I'm approaching like an enemy or an animal or anything, instead of playing the game, I'm slowly zooming in the camera mode to try and get the best photo.
Yeah.
To fill a book I'll never look at, just so that all the the boxes are ticked. So.
Yeah, but see, like that's the thing too. I was just talking about experience points. Zelda games, I think, since Wind Waker, have kind of replaced the experience point grinding with something more meaningless, like taking pictures of everything you see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about extended game time. Even if it's arbitrary, it doesn't matter. It looks good on paper. 40 plus hours of gameplay, taking pictures of bullshit.
Yeah. Sneaking up on bugs to take pictures of them.
Yeah.
Like you can if you've got something in your inventory, you can drop it on the ground and take a picture of it, which is fine, and it works with fish because they're dead. But when I tried to put like a frog on the ground to take a picture of it, the frog just fucked off. It's like, shit, that's my frog.
Okay, come back.
Yeah.
I just want to take a picture. So yeah, they're
and then
really
you can
hard
frog
to take
off.
pictures of.
Sorry. So.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. The Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker, and more real-time strategy and work. Because that's how this conversation started, if we all remember.
I definitely need to check out that game, the Dr. Dekker one.
Yeah,
That looks very interesting.
it's good.
I'm planning on doing it as well.
Like I said, it was $9 on Steam, I think, without sale price. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
none of my United States dollars.
Is the sale still on at the moment, or
the summer sale?
It's just happened.
Should still be. It just started like 3 or 4 days ago. So summer sale usually lasts a couple weeks with alternating sales and deals. And no, I do not work for Steam or Valve, Steam Valve, whatever. It's interesting because like Steam sales nowadays, at 34 years old, having had all the games that I could possibly have, I don't even care anymore. It's like, yeah, those are really cheap games that I don't own, but guess what? I have a lifetime worth of inventory to go through as it is.
That's pretty much how I feel now. It has to be something that really that I've either been looking to get for a while, or something that really jumps out at me.
Yeah,
because I just
I've
got barely enough time to play the games I already have.
Yeah, I will say, if something is going out of like quote unquote distribution forever, like Alan Wake, I'd step in and buy it then. Even Alan Wake, which, thinking about it now, I probably have on maybe 3 or 4 formats. But again, that was a case of, it's going, so you better get it before it's gone. So
yeah, better get it. Like, oh Jesus, yeah, I had, didn't I? Jesus.
Don't I already have it? Fuck it, I'll buy it again just in case. It's so cheap now. Alan Wake's another good one too. I really like it. Alan Wake. One of these days, I'll be one of the podcast topics, playing through Alan Wake.
I would be okay with that.
I would be too.
It's like it really blends that crazy like survival horror action with an actual sensible, thought-provoking story. It's really nice. Sorry.
Dude, seriously, when the day you watch Twin Peaks, you will just you'll be sat there shocked at how much Alan Wake, Silent Hill, everything just uses it.
Yeah,
it's like the whole thing in the woods, the kind of like the way the the monster kind of like plays on like this other realm, and kind of like it's all in there.
Oh yeah.
The diner as a focal point.
Well, the diner in Alan Wake is modelled after the diner in Twin Peaks.
Of course it is. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah. Yeah, thinking about it now mentally, the layout's exactly the same.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Do they also play that goddamn coconut song in there?
No, they don't.
No, but equally kind of quirky music. Yeah.
The lime in the coconut or whatever. I fucking hate that song.
But that game has so much good music. It's got that song that plays while you're shooting all the enemies while you're on the stage. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then I like the band that did the music for the game, actually, Poets of the Fall. I don't know if you guys played Max Payne 2, but they did the theme song for Max Payne 2 as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's a really good song. It's called Late Goodbye. They're a Finnish band. I think they're kind of like just a rock band, but they did the song War for Alan Wake. It plays on a radio when you're like fighting at one point. They're a good band. Check them out.
Okay, let's do that.
And nice focal point to get us on to Tucker and Dale versus Evil. The band that has a song on the soundtrack at on the credits, that's a really good song. There you go.
Awesome.
There we go. We finally
Tucker
reached
and
it.
Dale got there. Well, we're at the credits. We need to get back to the start somehow.
Yeah, we've gone too far.
You can go back.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking like Tucker and Dale, Tucker and Dale, Tucker and Dale, Tucker and Dale, Tucker. There's nothing I can work with Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I was thinking maybe like we're talking about the diner, or no, how it has how Twin Peaks is like the beginning of everything. I was like, well, is there a log cabin with Tucker and Dale in there? It's stupid though.
Log cabin, yes. Dale, yes. Tucker, no.
Oh, see, bullshit. I'm not watching Twin Peaks now.
It's only got Dale. Fuck that.
He's only got Dale. Dale was like, he's all right, but he doesn't really have any direction in his life. You know what I mean? He needs Tucker to set him straight, or else he'll just walk in circles. Him and Jangers.
Well, I love Jangers. Well, now we're here. Why don't you take the floor, Chris, and introduce Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. A friend of mine and I were watching it on Netflix. He heard about it from something. Maybe it was a vision quest, or a shaman spoke to him in his dreams. I don't really know what it was that spurred him on to watching it. But he saw it once, and then he invited me over to watch it again. And he was like looking at my face the whole time while I'm watching the movie, like, like reaction-wise, like watching for my reactions, that kind of shit. And I really hate that, which I think is one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy it the first time I saw it. But Tucker and Dale versus Evil is a story. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy turned comedy.
Yes.
Where, one man in the loss of his vacation home.
Yeah, where like two down and outs, like southern redneck, good old boys. I guess you could just call them good old boys. Like they're not criminals or anything like that. They're just They live in the woods. They don't have a Walmart, or if they do, it's like a vacation for them to go to a Walmart. It's like something on that level. And Tucker, played by the guy who plays Wash and Firefly and various other things. He's a really good character actor. I don't know what his name is.
His name is... Let me just get my Wikipedia cheat page out. His name is Alan Tudyk or Tyler Labine, one of the two.
No, it's Alan Tudyk. I'm pretty sure. And he has a very distinguishable face and red hair, and he never changes any of that for any of his characters, as far as I could tell. But he always has the same face. But even though you see him in other movies, he's a different person in those movies. And in Tucker and Dale, he does a really good job just playing a good old boy with a deep Southern accent and all that kind of stuff. And he buys a vacation home. It looks like a rundown shit shack out in the middle of nowhere. But Tucker and Dale drive out there, they see it, and it's like, perfect. This place is perfect. It's filled with spider webs and bones, really old, rotted out furniture, but they just love the place, right?
And I think one of my favorite moments actually I don't mean to just
go ahead.
Steal it away from you, but is when they're looking around and then there's all the newspaper clippings of all the dead people going missing.
Yeah.
Serial killer on loose, and the only thing that they take any notice of is, oh my god, we can get two for one chili dogs or something.
Yeah. Buy 3, get 2 free.
They've even got my favorite board game.
I love that. They're like, buy 3 chili dogs, get 2 free. And he's like pointing at himself and Dale, like, we can get an extra chili dog. Oh, man. But, yeah, through the second viewing, I found it to be much more of a comedy when I was watching it, prepared for it by myself. It's so well written. So many good lines. Like, everything is golden. Every line works. Every scene is a strong link in the chain of overall scenes, except the ending kind of falls flat. But, you forgive it because the ending doesn't matter. You're just having fun watching Tucker and Dale fight off the evil that is bunch of college kids on a suicide pact or something like that, or whatever they think it is. So
that's so good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first time I saw it was really on a whim. We were in a supermarket, I can't remember which one, and we saw the DVD on the shelf, and obviously I have to give the credit to Kina, my wife. For every Plan Z she picks up, she also picks up something like Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. So we brought it home just expecting, well, I don't know what we were expecting, just, that it was going to be a horror movie. And it wasn't, and we were really kind of like thrown sideways by the fact that it was kind of deconstructing the genre and kind of turning everything around so that you were viewing it from someone else's eyes, and it just became hilarious.
Yeah. Especially those scenes where you see it from the college kids' eyes and you know why they think Tucker and Dale are fucking evil. Like,
yeah,
they're making her dig her own grave. God, it's fucking evil. Where they have Dale and Allison,
yes.
Allison. Yeah, Dale and Allison are just digging an outhouse hole to put an outhouse in so they can have a shitter at their vacation home that's not inside the house. But they're like, man, they're making her dig her own grave. Just so many misunderstandings upon misunderstandings. It's just beautiful to watch, and when it's shot right and performed correctly and all that kind of stuff. It's really a great movie.
Yeah, I feel it does a really good job of setting up all these elements. So they run into the cop early on who views them with suspicion because they're acting strangely, he's got his shirt off and everything.
No, I wouldn't say strangely. They were just having a good time in the truck.
yeah, he needs some man time up at the cabin.
Oh, God, that scene was so good. I
like how it introduces all those elements, and then they come together later.
Yeah, like, I think, I was watching something, like, I'd watched Insidious, and then I'd watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and it was just like, I didn't like Insidious, but Tucker and Dale just made everything right again. Like, it was so good. Like, that truck scene that you mentioned was just like, you follow what's going on. It makes sense. It's just the wrong thing happened at precisely the correct time.
Yes.
It's like, my shirt's stuck, Tucker. I gotta get my shirt off, or something like that. He's trying to get like the beer off of off of Tucker's lap with his shirt, I guess. And then he comes up, he's just fucking bare chested, and I don't mean like hairy, I mean his fucking bald fat chest. He's looking like he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have some man time down at the Oh, man. But it's like the expert performances really sail this movie. It's just like every time they do anything, it looks appropriate. It looks completely appropriate and completely natural. The theme of miscommunication is held super strong throughout beginning to end, and it's totally worth watching.
I think one of my favourite moments in terms of the misunderstanding is when I think it's the first teenager dies when he runs into the tree.
Yeah.
That's a sharp tree. That's a sharp tree.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that he's standing there and he's bleeding out and he's dying. And he sees the bee land on him, and then he has that moment of realisation and goes, "Oh,
I love that bit."
It just died. Oh, okay, it was.
Oh, yeah, a misunderstanding. Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, okay," he just accepts it.
Yeah, because Tucker was slicing into a log with a chainsaw, and like that's one of the beautiful things about this movie is that he's doing something completely normal and natural that leads into something completely stereotypical from horror movies. Like he's got this chainsaw and he's just like clearing some forest and some dead wood or whatever around the place, and there's a hornet's nest inside the fucking log that he's cutting through. So he's chainsawing through a hornet's nest by accident. And when he realizes this, he's just running with the chainsaw, screaming and running.
So funny.
And then like one of the teens see him, and that guy starts running from the guy with the chainsaw. But the guy with the chainsaw keeps running because he's got bees on him. He's not exactly in his right mind. And they're just like running after each other, kind of parallel to each other, sort of like, what's going on? What the fuck is going on? And then the fucking kid gets impaled by a stray, I guess a branch or a fallen tree or something like that. Because it would have to be like a tree that kind of fell or something to have that much stopping power to go through his sternum.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah,
that's he was moving at some speed. He must have been.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's funny, and then because obviously he doesn't see him.
Yeah.
Him dying. I remember he comes back and he's like, your friend must be allergic to bees as well, because he was running away all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't even know the guy's dead. He's just came back like, today's still a normal day where I did a silly goof up, and I won't be chainsawing through hornets' nests anymore. But on the other side of things, the teens are like, oh my god, he just he impaled him on this tree. Those rednecks are fucking insane. Yeah, it's a message. That's right. Fucking message.
Oh, the way he comes back and he pours beer onto his bee stings.
Yeah,
he uses beer to fix all of his like medical issues.
Yeah,
throughout the
his
movie.
fingers later on, he just pours the beer on it. Yeah, that's helping Tucker. That'll help.
Like he pours beer on his severed fingers and all that other shit. God. I'm pretty sure that would sting, but I don't really know. I wouldn't pour beer on stuff like that, though.
No, I think that would be quite painful.
Yeah. Tucker's a real badass, though.
Love Tucker.
But,
I feel so bad for him. All he wanted was a guy's weekend away.
Yeah, some man
to fix
time.
up the cabin. That's all he wanted. That's what he wanted, yeah. Just a weekend away from everything to fix up their vacation home.
And then some kids. Like, the whole thing is set up with some college kids go on a cabin in the woods camping trip kind of thing, and they just happen to camp next to Tucker and Dale's vacation home, and
right next to
they're like, oh, there's a lake, let's go skinny dipping. And then like one of them says, I'm not getting naked though. Which is like, that's skinny dipping is getting naked, but whatever, all wear your underwear.
I saw that because they're like, let's go skinny dipping. You're looking at them and they're all like wearing like some form of clothing.
Yeah Not really skinny dipping. But one of them, Allison, gets up on a rock and she's going to dive into the lake, but first she has to disrobe, which of course Tucker and Dale get the full eye view of, and they're just like, Dale, shut the fuck up. Shh. He's like, Dale, when you see a beautiful woman undressing, the last thing you need to say is my name. Oh man! But anyway, she gets wind of the fact that they're watching her, and she falls into the lake, hits a rock, and gets knocked out. So they kidnap her, or rather, they think they're going to save her by putting her in the boat, and they decide to announce to the other kids, "Hey,
I love this bit.
We've got your friend.
Got your friend. We got your
We
friend.
got your friend. They've got. Oh my god!
And they just run
And I like the one later on. He's like, "No, I didn't want to say anything because I want to freak you out, but I'm pretty sure I saw one of them eating her face."
Yeah. So good.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
So, but it just follows that snowball as it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The only two things that I really didn't like overall, like during the assault on Tucker and Dale cabin, is one of the kids just jumps head first into a wood chipper.
Yeah.
It just jumps straight brain first into a wood chipper.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, obviously he goes in there because Tucker ducks, but still it's like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. Like, he sees the wood chipper.
Kind of like Mach 10.
Yeah, he sees the wood chipper. He pulls out his Swiss Army knife, if you could call it that. It's like it's a 1.5-inch blade. It's fucking tiny. And he's like stealing himself, and then he runs towards Tucker, and he's going to jump on Tucker and stab him to death. But Tucker ducks to pick up something, so the person flies over Tucker's shoulder into the wood chipper, and it's just a bloody mess instantly.
It's regardless of the story or the plot reasons, it's worth it just for Tucker's reaction.
Yeah,
he's like, oh my god.
he kept pretty cool considering. I'd like to say, like,
he tries really hard to get him out. To be fair,
yeah, he tries really hard to pull that torso out, and I mean, if it could tear up wood, it could probably tear up bone. But whatever. The point is, though, it was like normal day, doing some chores, bending over. Stand up. Oh god, blood explosion everywhere. Just trying to get this person out of the wood chipper. How did they get into the wood chipper? What did I do to put this kid in the wood chipper? Did I push the kid? Have I not been moving logs this whole time? Has it been children this whole time? Am I a murderer? Where the fuck is my brain right now? Like,
what's going on? Where am I?
Yeah, just the pure confusion, and it just keeps happening. So good. But yeah, so oh god.
We've got the other guy as well who it's the same attack. Accidentally kills himself as well, doesn't it? I mean, that one makes a bit more sense because he trips.
Yes. He trips and falls on his own spear that he crafted with a tree branch and a knife. Probably that hand axe that the one kid had. He's obsessed with
that fucking axe.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
How do you feel about that character? Because I like him in how ridiculous he is.
Yeah, and how hateful he is. Yeah, I absolutely despise him.
I love his accent as well. The way he says hillbillies, it's just perfect.
With the absolute disgust.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're skipping ahead a bit at the end, but I just like the way they distract him right at the end is by proclaiming, "You don't understand, Chad. You're half hillbilly."
Yeah. No.
No, it's not true.
It's all lies.
You lied to me.
Everything is a lie. Ah! Yeah, half hillbilly. It's ridiculous. That kid. I mean, that kid really stood out. If this was not a comedy, he would be way too far offline. But this is a comedy, and he filled that hole, I thought, pretty well, of the unreasonable member of the teens that kind of eggs the whole thing on to begin with. Like once one person goes down, he's like, no. Not many people have this chance in their life to...
Yeah, he's like, this is about survival.
Yeah.
That's what living is.
We are blessed. You know? He does seem like that one odd friend that somebody had that nobody likes. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you have a circle of friends, sometimes there's like that one guy that somebody met some time ago that they were probably cool then and said, hey, you can come with me and all my friends to this thing. And that person comes along and turns out to be the weirdest fucker there. Making everything awkward for everybody. He seems like that guy. So, I mean, it's still grounded in some amount of reality, which I thought was good. The only thing I really didn't like was the end, and I don't mind skipping to the end because otherwise we'll just be explaining every single scene in detail. But because there are some good scenes, but leave some meat on the bone for the people who want to see the movie. But the fact that when what's his name? What's the psycho
character?
When that character gets into the log cabin,
I think his name's Chad.
Chad, that's what it was. Yeah,
Chad.
Of course it's Chad.
Chad,
fucking Chad. Chad and like one of the other surviving teens actually gets into the log cabin and they go to save Allison, and it's like they're just like crouched low, sneaking in. Allison, hey, we're gonna save you. And she's like, what are you doing? There's no one else here. Oh.
Yeah.
And they just like go, oh yeah, and they just like stand up.
Yeah, cool. My back was hurting anyway. And I really like that scene following where like Allison tries to negotiate what happened, clear up the miscommunication, and that's set up earlier when she tells Dale after she wakes up that she wanted to be a psychiatrist or a therapist.
Yeah.
Miscommunication was something that she didn't like, and she'd like to work with people to make it better. And I thought that was really well done in this scene because she tries to clear up the miscommunication, but it just like the snowball's rolling down the hill, then it falls completely off a cliff because Chad just comes up with something out of the middle of nowhere about how his mother was with their dad at a camping trip and everyone died but her, and she was like so beaten badly that she died before like Chad could get to know her, and he heard the story from his grandmother about how hillbillies killed them and all that kind of stuff, and so he's just hated hillbillies ever since.
Yeah,
like that's his side of the story. That's what
Everyone's
happened.
just kind of, and everyone just goes gets very quiet. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Like, no one knows where this is going to go now. At first, it was like, oh, okay, misunderstanding. No, wait, what, Chad? What? And Chad's just, like, sitting there like, what now, hillbilly? What now? What do you got to say to that? Still holding that axe, which is a great scene, by the way. Just like the picture of him on one side holding the axe and Dale on the other holding the machete, I think. Like, they're still like, you son of a bitch.
Still right on edge.
Yeah. So I thought that was really great. But of course, it just snowballs completely out of control right there. And Dale's like, I don't even know what he said, actually, anymore. He's just like agape, thinking, like, what do I say to that?
He's like, I'm sorry for what happened to your parents.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing.
Right? Like, sorry that they got murdered by hillbillies, but I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I'd have been like 6 years old.
Yeah. Right?
It's like, oh, Dale.
Yeah, Dale is like the biggest fucking sweetheart I've ever seen in movie cinema ever.
He is. He's
so
got
cool.
the biggest heart. It's so cute.
And Jangers, their dog.
Oh, Jangers.
That's a perfect name for a dog as well.
Yeah, it's a perfect name
Jangers.
for a dog named by Dale in that movie. Jangers. Hey, Jangers. Like, what the fuck is a Jangers? I live in America. I don't know what a Janger is. So I am now going to look up what a Janger is.
And it's so sweet when they've taken his dog and he's like, they got my dog.
Yeah.
You kill my dog, I'll be real upset.
I'll be freaking angry.
I'll get real angry.
Oh, wow. Janger means to eat ass.
Oh my god. That raises all kinds of questions.
Yeah, well, it's a dog. So butt licking, butt sniffing is a thing. And that's okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it works for a dog. Especially one that looks like Jangers. He looks like he's licked a few poop holes.
I'm just trying to think. I think there's only really one death in the movie that's directly caused by either Tucker or Dale, and that's obviously Chad right at the end. When he remembers that he's allergic to chamomile tea because it affects his asthma pump.
But that doesn't kill him.
That doesn't kill him.
No, it doesn't. But it indirectly leads. It does lead to it, I suppose. But
but Dale said, "Hey, it's just an allergic reaction. He'll be okay." Just before he falls out the window.
He goes, as long as we get his pump. Well,
yeah.
He's pretty dead. And he slowly closes the window.
Yeah, we don't need to look at that. Yeah.
So what's I suppose a good question might be to ask. Obviously, all the accidental deaths are all quite creative in their own way. But do either of you have a favourite?
That's a good question. Oh man. See, I love them all. I think I love the wood chipper one mainly just because of the reaction it gets out of Tucker. He doesn't know how to compute it. It's like, why did he kill himself? It just doesn't make sense.
They keep killing themselves on my property.
And I think we talked about this before the cast, but it's just beautiful the fact that while he's having that hypothetical conversation with Dale about what they could possibly tell a police officer, and he's being as sarcastic as possible, that then becomes the exact line he tries to feed the police officer when the police officer arrives.
Yeah. Man, oh no, hands down, favorite death. I forgot. I was gonna say wood chipper, but I was like, no, it's not the wood chipper. Which one is it? It's the kid with the gun. He
can't take the safety off.
Yeah, like they call the cops. A cop shows up, same cop from earlier in the movie, and like the cop drives all of them up to the cabin. We're gonna clear this whole thing up, right? And then the cop walks with Tucker and Dale into the cabin, and they set up this faulty. Well, set up in the movie sense, not Tucker and Dale set up a trap, but they set up this in the movie this faulty post that goes from the floor to the ceiling is supposed to support the structure, and somebody had like nailed half-ass nailed like a 2x4 to both ends of the broken section, so like it swings loose if you push on it too much, and the cop is like, it looks like he's finally coming along with their crazy story, and he's like, "Blah, things aren't always what they seem." And he puts his hand on the post falls down, the thing swings down, and the nails from the 2x4 embed into his brain, and he just like walks around still like with brain damage. He's like, "I'm still gonna take care of this." And he reaches for the radio, falls over, which initiates one of the kids to get out of the car, grab the cop's gun, and point it to Tucker and Dale. Tucker and Dale like, "Oh shit, now we're going to get shot by an unreasonable teenager who's just going to flip his fucking lid." But Dale helpfully reminds him that the safety is off, or on, and he needs to turn it off. And Tucker's like, "What the fuck, man?"
Why are you telling him that?
Yeah. So the kid, he's just like, he's so nervous. He's like fumbling with the gun, and he makes it look legit. Like he's trying to figure out which side has the safety on. Did I just turn it off? Did I turn it on? Boom! Shoots himself.
And there goes his head.
Falls over. Like, that is the best. That to me was the best death. Because if nothing else, he did it to himself. Nobody else was involved. And it was just like the worst possible thing that happened in the best possible moment.
Yeah, it's his own stupidity.
Yeah. I love that stuff because everyone's like, "Oh god damn, he just killed himself!" And they have to get out of the car and they're trying to do things, run away or whatever. It just like we almost had a bridge gap from the miscommunication, then it just gets shattered again.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
It has to be different from ours.
Yeah, I was thinking
that's the law.
That's the rule.
I was thinking the wood chipper as well. I think I liked the policeman. The cop, just because it's set up early on.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
And they both go no when they realise what he's about to do.
Donk.
Yeah,
that's why he just like stumbles out, and yeah, it's just he's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." He's very calm, and I think it's because Tucker just says, "It's fine." He's gonna walk it off.
He's gonna walk it off. Yeah, he's just gonna walk it off. It's fine.
It's fine. He just gets the radio out and just collapses.
Yeah,
I think that might be my favourite one actually, just because it's a joke that's set up early.
Yeah, it's set up twice in case you forget. Like Tucker and Dale discover it, and then like Dale's on top of Tucker, and Tucker's like, "You can get off me now, Dale." He's like staring at each other's face, mouth open, looking at each other, and then later on,
scene.
Oh, good.
So there's another scene where I don't know if you're you were saying about it's set up like just when they're on top of each other. It's a scene later on when they're getting shot at and they're both on the ground, and then so Dale can get near the window. Instead of crawling around, he just rolls over Tucker.
Yeah,
and just kind of crushes him. He's like, "Yeah, thanks for that." Sorry, yeah, go on. I didn't mean to,
one thing I liked. Oh, sorry, I just interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, I didn't. I was just saying. Sorry, Karen, because I interrupted you as well.
Oh, okay. Well, we're both sorry, and
you're both screw ups.
One thing I picked up this time that is like, it's like transparent gold. It's like if you don't see it, you don't miss anything. But when you see it, it's really valuable. It's just after that scene when Dale crushes Tucker's balls by rolling over him trying to get to the window. Tucker's like, "Stay low. We gotta. He's rolling somewhere else. I don't remember what it is, but he's like, 'Keep your hat on,' and he puts his hand on his hat, and he keeps rolling while keeping his hand on his hat because it's just so important to those kinds of people that you always wear your hat." And I love that they just sort of subtly leave that in there, and it's true because like later on when Tucker gets kidnapped by the kids and Dale finds where Tucker was and his hat's on the ground, Dale picks it up and puts it on top of his own hat just so that the hat is at least worn by one or the two of them. It's like, oh man. And it's just true though, like those kinds of like hat sort of habits are true around here, so it's just kind of funny. Not wearing two hats or whatever, but just always kind of subconsciously keeping it on your head. So it's funny. It's funny.
Yes. But yeah, so that's my favourite one. Is the cop accidentally getting a rather sharp nail stuck into his forehead.
Yeah.
And past his forehead into the brain.
To the brain. Brain. Oh man, but like that like after that scene, after Allie tries to convince them to talk it out, that's where it kind of falls flat for me though, because it all relies on Chad to deliver the heavier performance at the end of just like closing it out, like trying to kill Dale, trying to kill Allison, and he's got like that two-face kind of thing going on where one half of his head is burned, but it doesn't bother him at all.
No, he seems okay with it.
Yeah. Like, thematically,
seems like
sure, but in real life, Burns really hurt.
It seems like the movie foregoes the kind of the premise it's had to that point is to serve up cliches sort of indirectly and to create humor from the fact that they're kind of turned on their head.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it pretty much becomes just the showdown of the movie. So you kind of lose some of that. I mean, it's not that I'm not having a good time. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing. But yeah, I think what you're saying there about the sort of the final scenes, there's less humor there, so it's less.
Yeah.
It does kind of fall a bit flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because like, there aren't any jokes, except for like the last joke seems to be that Dale dresses down as an insane hillbilly. Like, I'll show him. He wants to see a crazy hillbilly. I'll show him a crazy hillbilly. He's like putting on like a welding mask. He has a big chainsaw. He's got like spikes in his shoes for like I guess it'd be for like tree climbing or something. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Probably,
yeah. And
so.
like he jumps in to save Allison, and Allison's like, ah! And Dale's like, no, it's just me. It's just me, Dale. I just thought this would be intimidating. She's like, it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then takes the welding mask off.
Yeah.
And never puts it back on again.
Yeah, like he never puts it back on again. Like he wants to stay friendly, old Dale. But
what was that when he takes that off? He's still got the baseball cap underneath it as well.
Yes, absolutely. Because you never take your hat off. You just don't do it.
You just don't. It's a party.
Not even once.
Not even once. Not even when you shower. Oh man, but see, like after that though, it just kind of falls over. Like we're just kind of waiting for it to end now, and then like there's a bunch of scenes that sort of prolong the fight. Like Dale could have taken out Chad earlier, but he didn't. Instead, they're like, "Oh, we gotta run, Allie, we gotta run!" And they run upstairs and they find the I guess a place where Psycho Man was hanging out in the original massacre that sets up the rest of the movie or something.
Yeah,
it seems kind of weird.
So they can have that reveal.
Yeah. But it did not need a reveal. It would be fine if Chad was just lost it. He's one of those people who would lose it in that situation, and he lost it. He's inherently evil, as opposed to being birthed or sired by evil, which just wasn't necessary to tell. And I also felt like that the way that they did it in that scene was rushed and incomplete. Like I thought that was supposed to be Chad in the picture. Not that it looked like Chad in the picture, and that they would immediately correlate, this person looks like Chad in this picture, it's probably his real dad.
Yeah.
I was like...
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Like, and not until they said, you're half hillbilly, did I put it together what they were just trying to tell me earlier. I was like, I'm going to have to rewind this, because that didn't make any sense. It's like 1990. It's an old newspaper. Makes me feel...
It's like he looks exactly like him, sort of.
Yeah.
Although there was one good joke with that though, when she's like, "Oh my god, look at this," and Dale's like, "Oh yeah, it's the cop from earlier."
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, oh look, he's in the newspaper. I bet he's. Oh wait, he's dead. Yeah,
but I do like once the conclusion happens, we get some more laughs again. The final scene with Tucker is just beautiful. He's high on pain meds, and they put his fingers on wrong.
Oh, not wrong.
Like
he has the wrong finger. Yeah, he's got like one of the girl's fingers.
Looking like that.
Does
he look weird? It's fine, Tucker. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll get rough again later on. It'll be fine.
And then there's the final joke right at the end is obviously they're at the bowling alley where it's Dale and Allison like on a date almost. But when Allison's actually bowling, Dale's talking to like one of the other hillbillies. He's like, you gotta take what you want, you gotta go for it. And he's like, I'm gonna go talk to that woman over there. And then you just see him like punch her and then drag her away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
He's like, look, I got her, and she's coming with me now. I think that joke would have been better if he had just said, oh, so I should just take her, you know? And then Dale would be like, no, talk to her or something like that. Because to be honest, like seeing him like assault a woman and drag her off with a big smile on his face, I was like, that's not going to end well for anybody.
No, that's a strange way to end this.
Yeah, it was a strange way to end the comedy. Even though it was a comedy, I guess you could say it was a dark comedy because of all the death.
Yeah.
But like the death is it's just the death and the circumstances of the death that make the joke work. You're not supposed to think too much about, oh, those parents of those kids are going to be real sad tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of where I went straight to the first time I watched this movie. I was like, oh, they didn't deserve that. Oh. Why are they... I mean, that's sad. But instead, it could have been more like a bunch of kids that you weren't supposed to like, as opposed to just stupid, inexperienced kids.
Yeah, I think the only one you're supposed to dislike is Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they do kind of make that clear fairly early on.
Yeah.
It's because he's a massive dickhead.
He's a massive dickhead. I'm an alpha.
Yeah. His fucking shirt as well.
Yeah. The other thing, though I know it's done for the comedy, is Allison's like wardrobe change halfway in the movie. Like, it's okay that she wore what you imagine a farm girl to wear, but her button on her shorts were undone and pushed down like super tight. It's like, what? Nobody wears their clothes like that. Nobody.
Yeah, who wears jeans like jean shorts like that? What?
Yeah, jean shorts that are just like purposely like spread further down and pulled up for maximum tightness and maximum like exposure. I mean, yeah, it worked for the joke, but at the same time, it's like that didn't. You can just leave them buttoned. Daisy Dukes are fine if they're buttoned.
Exactly.
Everything else was fine though. It was just fun. Good movie.
It was a good movie.
It's a lot of fun. Because I was looking it up after I'd finished watching, and apparently they are planning on making a sequel. They've been talking about it since like 2014, I think it was. Maybe a bit longer, because I know it came out in like 2009, 2010, I think. So yeah, they announced it, and I think it's just not quite in development hell, but sort of is. So they're just trying to get it off the ground at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I definitely.
I don't think.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, because I don't think it was particularly successful at the when it was out in the cinema. I think it made a lot of money. I mean, it didn't cost a lot, but I think maybe it's got quite a cult following now.
Yeah,
I think that's over time as word of mouth things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our podcast. How over time it's going to be amazing. That's not a joke. Why are you laughing? It's a dead certainty.
I mean, what?
Of course. Absolute face. But yeah, I liked the name Tucker and Dale versus Evil is very much like Ernest goes to camp, Ernest goes to prison, Ernest saves the world. Do you know these movies?
Oh yeah,
Ernest P World, Ernest Power World, or something like that. It's like a '90s classic, and not trilogy, but just like a series of comedy movies, just done for fun. And Tucker and Dale could easily fill that niche in the 2010s and onward because they have great chemistry together. A lot of fun jokes. Doesn't have to always be about horror either. It could be versus something else besides evil, and like do it that way. I mean, it'd be great to just do thematic comedy movies that are just funny movies by themselves, and they're not riffing off of I don't know, like pop culture stuff, or I don't know what I'm saying, but like, you know, comedy nowadays just isn't really going anywhere. It's not funny.
Yeah, and if you rely on pop culture nods and references, then you date really quickly.
Yes.
I think Tucker and Dale, although it was made like almost 10 years ago, is still funny today because it plays on tropes that are already very entrenched and tired. So people can see those tropes being turned on their head, and humor expected to be funny for another, I don't know, 10, 20 years or longer. I
mean, really, like the only thing that dates the movie technology-wise is the stripper's cell phone isn't a smartphone.
Yeah.
That's it. Basically. Besides like the cars making models and stuff, but they're already living backwater, like country roads. Like, they're going to have old equipment out there, so it's not a big deal. It's not like, oh, he's driving a 2017 Prius or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it should definitely continue on as long as they want to do it. As long as they're good movies, I am completely fine with that.
As long as the script works and it's not made just for the sake of trying to cash in on the fact it's become a bit of a cult.
Yeah.
Cult favourite from people. Because that's always the worry with cult films in general.
Yeah.
They just try and like cash in on it as opposed to actually making something that's just as good or better than the film that everyone really likes.
Yeah. Especially if they leave Tucker's finger painted fingernail like as a character thing, like throughout every other movie from now on. He really likes to paint that one nail. He doesn't know why.
I don't remember doing it in the past.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Like, they even started off like it's Tucker's like Christmas or birthday, and like Dale gets him some red nail polish because that's what he fucking wants. Something like that, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could see it working.
Okay, well, it was a good time, and we enjoyed it, and we recommend... Yeah. Well, to be honest, if you've listened to this, you really should have watched it by now. But definitely go and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that means it's your turn, Matt, I think.
Yeah, I bet you weren't even thinking about what to say.
Yeah, I got something.
All right.
I got something in mind. But, okay, so basically... so I wanted to... Because I've obviously, every film I've picked so far, I've already seen before. And I know I like it. So I was going through thinking about some horror films that I've wanted to watch that I haven't, and I have absolutely no idea if they're any good. And this one in particular, I think is going to be a piece of shit. But it's a Roger Corman produced horror film from the 80s called Galaxy of Terror, which is currently on. I know it's on Netflix over here. I don't know if it's on Netflix in the States. But Galaxy of Terror, it's. So it's a Roger Corman produced film, so it's going to use a lot of sets from his other films, and it's going to be very violent. Basically, the thing that's always drawn me to it is I really like the premise. Obviously, I can't really say anything without giving it away, but it's a premise that I think is really cool, and you know, if done properly, because I don't know, it could be surprisingly good. It's got a bit of a cult following now, but it's a premise that I really like, because sci-fi horror can always be, you know, really funny, because sci-fi horror can be really fucking messed up. But there's also, it's very notorious for a certain scene in the movie which
it has a scene, does it?
Yes, that was which was, you know, the MPAA gave it an X rating because of said scene, so they had to cut around it and fix it so it wasn't given an X rating. It's a sex scene. In fact, I'm just gonna read the title, the subtitle for the paragraph that mentions it on the Wikipedia page, which is the worm sex scene.
Okay.
So, and I know about that sex scene because it's very very notorious, but I've never actually seen the film. Also, I do believe James Cameron worked on it, as I think he was one of the set designers.
Really? Okay.
I'm sure
James Cameron, the Terminator, was second unit director on this Roger Corman production about a group of astronauts on a mission to rescue a stranded spaceship. That's the Amazon's summary of it. I thought I was gonna.
There we go.
That's what James Cameron did.
Right. That's right. Yeah, he was second unit director, and he did the production design. Because I don't know if it's Galaxy of Terror, one of the other many Roger Corman movies that was produced that he worked on as well, where I think it's the interior of one of the spaceships looks very similar to the interior of the colony station in Aliens.
Oh,
the way it looks. So people say, "Huh, that's really strange." But yeah, I've been looking for an excuse to watch this for a while. I have absolutely no idea if it's gonna be any good, but it has got Sid Haig and Robert fucking Englund in it. So
England, so Freddy Krueger.
yes. So very, very good. So it's probably going to be absolute B-movie schlock, but it could be very entertaining, or it could be very fucking terrible.
Well, I guess we'll find out. And I guess we'll also see the scene, so...
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I know only of that scene.
Opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. So
Galaxy of Terror, yeah?
Galaxy of Terror. Which, incidentally, I do believe... Isn't that the name of the diner in Deadly Premonition?
Is it?
Deadly Premonition... I'm pretty sure it's the one that's owned by the... I never really did any...
Man, I need to play Deadly Premonition again. I didn't play it enough when I first played it, and I just haven't been back. But I need to.
Yes, Galaxy of Terror. It's the name of the... Yeah, here it is. Yes,
nice.
It's the...
okay.
It's the classier of the two bars in Greenvale. It's one where they've got like the lounge singer.
How interesting. So we're going to have... It's sort of a weird hodgepodge of a reference that Deadly Premonition would make alongside Aliens kind of DNA in terms of set design. This is very interesting.
It's very strange, but yeah, that's so Galaxy of Terror is gonna. Oh God, why have I done this? I'm already thinking about it. And like, oh no. Oh no.
It's okay. It'll be my choice next, and I've already got something in mind. I'm not going to tell you now, but based on this, what I've picked is very different. So at the very least, if it's not going to be two of these in a row. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Okay. Well, everyone's got their standing orders. We need to find Galaxy of Terror, and submit ourselves to it in time for next week's episode.
Submit ourselves to it.
And so it begins.
Fall prey to it, become victims of the Galaxy of Terror.
Immerse ourselves.
Oh God.
God.
Well, unfortunately, I can't find it on American Netflix or Amazon. They both don't have rights to it. But it looks like I found it on YouTube, so I'll just watch it there.
Yeah, a lot of Roger
right.
Corman stuff is on YouTube because I'm not sure. Like, I think it's one of those. I don't think it's quite public domain, but I think it's just no one gives a shit.
Yeah, no one's gonna chase after this one.
No. There's another one. Another one of his called Mutant, which is like another sci-fi one. And all I remember from Mutant is the German trailer because it was just like mutant. Like, oh Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry.
And he's like mutant.
I'm sorry.
And he's like, oh Jesus Christ! All right, yeah, I'll go and see it. Yeah, man, it's great.
Okay, yeah, Galaxy of Terror is on YouTube. I've just found it, so
there we go.
Yep, everybody can find it there if they want to.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think all that remains to be said is if it's bad, we're sorry. If it's not bad, well, we've enriched your life.
Yeah, we've enhanced your life experience.
Exactly.
If anything, we've given you the worm sex scene.
Yeah,
exactly.
And who else can say such things, really?
That's what I've given to the world.
Man. So, with that in mind, until next time, let's quickly cover our stuff. Matt, you have a YouTube channel?
Yep, Lost in the Warp Pipe.
Yep.
It sure is.
That's the name of your channel.
Because there's not much new on there at the moment, but I'm working on stuff.
You're still working on stuff, aren't you?
Yeah,
Good.
I've got like 2 videos I'm working on. Because I scrapped one of them because I just didn't think it worked. I was like, it's not funny, so just got rid of it.
Yeah, well, that's good though.
Fuck it.
To be honest, like I feel pretty strongly about people removing their trash off YouTube. I'm not saying what you were making is trash. I didn't see it. I can't possibly judge it. It was trash. But like, there's a lot. I'm not saying it was trash. It's trash.
It was. No, I think I missed the boat more than the thing was like, it's not funny.
Yeah, but like there's a bunch of videos out there that are just like I was just looking for Dr. Dekker stuff just recently, trying to get a video sample of the thing I was talking about earlier to show you guys.
Oh yeah.
But I can't find one because people won't shut up over their videos while other people are talking in the video. I mean, so I go, no commentary, cool. I click on no commentary, and I can't get that scene because that guy didn't include that scene for some fucking reason, because he wanted to do like a character profile per each character in the game, as opposed to just showing the game itself. Which, I mean, that's your prerogative, but it's like that's not useful or helpful to me in any way. And if I ever wanted to see the game, I didn't want to watch it broken up in the way that you've decided that it was more valuable to be seen. So that's also trash. Get that shit off of here. If you're not even going to add commentary, you're going to cut it up like that, and it's not going to be intuitive or interesting, get the fuck off YouTube.
Get out.
Yeah. That kind of shit.
We don't take kindly your taps around here.
Chris, I think we're done talking about vodka. Okay.
Vodka. Oh, right. Vodka.
It's been a long podcast. Trust me, that was this podcast.
Yeah, it was. I remember now. I remember everything.
Fuck. Oh God.
So, Tom, what are you doing? Are you gazing in the dark?
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, well, if you gaze at dark gazing, you will gaze into the dark for quite some time before you see any content. I'm still going to be doing the streams on my other channel. The next one coming up, I'm not sure. I think I'm probably... as a person, although I had lots of fun growing up on kind of like 8-bit, 16-bit games and stuff, I feel like... they're not really my kind of forte when it comes to YouTube, so I'm going to probably move ahead a bit and probably pick something on PS1 or PS2. That tends to be my kind of, not comfort zone, but that's just where I had the most fun gaming experience wise, I think, in my entire life. So
Yes.
I'm going to pick something from there and play it. I'm also going to play some things that instead of calling them, because I've been calling my streams for glory, so basically it's streaming to try and attain glory. So far it's only Boomerang Kid and I failed, so it's not really very glorious, but I'm planning to do a kind of a past glories where I play things that I've previously done. So I've previously beaten, for instance, Call of Duty 1 on Veteran. I've completed Call of Duty 2 on Veteran. 2 is a fucking joke. It's so funny how there's one level where literally in the FAQ I read at the time, the person had literally wrote, you need to pray. you need to keep moving, and 9 times out of 10 you will get shot, but the 10th time you will survive to the next checkpoint. So seeing as that's something I did before, the 7 or I think it was the 7-day survivor achievement in Dead Rising, things like that I've done before, which are really stupid, absurd and pointless, I'm going to try and do again. So I think I'm going to call them past glory streams instead of for glory, because I've already done it before. I'm just doing it again for an audience this time, and to hopefully kind of attain that level of glory again. So I'm going to be doing some past glory streams as well at some point.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Jake's buying me a Coke. So, all right. Well, I didn't actually say what I was doing, but it hasn't really changed.
You have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's named as my younger weeb self at Karisu1061 with an underscore between 10 and 61. And I will be putting up some more Let's Play stuff pretty soon. I mean, it's pretty much whenever I have the chance to do it. I can't make it a full-time job. It doesn't pay enough. So
is that where you put your Demon Soul stuff?
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, that I mentioned earlier.
Suggest everyone watches your Demon Souls one.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going to do this week.
Yeah, and if I may advertise that I at least cut out a lot of the erroneous grinding or crafting or things that just aren't interesting to watch. So if you watch it, you'll be able to see all the levels as they are completed. It's a blind run, but like I'm not going to die and then like show you me coming back to where I died. I'll just start the video back where I was when I died, so you'll get to see more progress in less time.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, of course it is.
Nice. I'll enjoy that.
All right.
It's perfect. Okay, well, thanks guys for being here with us and talking about Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. You've got your homework. It's on YouTube, so don't forget to check that out. And until next week, stay beautiful, stay damned, stay away from evil hillbillies.
You can get real close to the nice ones, though. They're nice people.
Yeah.
They're just hard to tell apart, you know? Like, if one of them's holding a scythe, that doesn't mean they're bad.
I love that.
It means they're socially awkward.
Immediately before he did that, he was eating whole pickled eggs out of a jar.
Yeah. But yeah, their pickled eggs are awesome. Of course you do. So.
All right.
Cool. Thanks for watching.
See you later.
See you guys later.
This episode of Spoilers of the Damned was hosted by Axton10_61, Madcus Finch, and Garlips. To find out about us, as well as join the discussion on our Discord, check out all the links in the description below. Please feel free to leave a review or rate us on your podcast app of choice.